Welcome to our next clip, Humans at Risk. We're in the middle of going through the 20 reasons that contribute to good people doing bad things. We're going to go through the next 4. That's number 7, 8, 9, and 10. We mentioned in a previous clip, the Mishnah in Sota Daf Zayin Amud Aleph that writes that when we're trying to encourage a Sota, a woman that secluded herself with a man after being warned not to, and we want her to own up that she did something wrong, and that way she'll get her punishment, she'll get divorced, she'll have to get divorced, but at least she won't be killed, there won't be a big degradation and chilul Hashem. So in the previous clip we mentioned that we turn to this girl, this woman, and we say, Biti, our daughter. Maybe it was הרבה narus עושה, childishness, immaturity that we discussed that on our previous clip. The next thing the Gemara says, הרבה yayin עושה. Maybe you were intoxicated. Maybe you are under the influence of some substances. You may have been taking some substances to numb your pain. And somebody who's doing an avairah under the influence of a substance, of wine, of alcohol, of drugs, or anything like that, can he really be held responsible? That's a tremendous donach kavschus. You know how many of our teenagers are doing terrible avairahs under the influence of chemicals? Is it an excuse? Of course not. He shouldn't have been in that situation. They shouldn't have taken the chemicals. And even if they are taking the drugs, they shouldn't have been in a place that they could do avairahs. All that is fine and good. But when it comes to being donach kavschus, it's a tremendous donach kavschus. When they did the avairah, they were totally not there. No one in. The Mishnah then carries on. הרבה שחוק עושה. So we're not justifying having fun, especially when you're doing avairahs, to have fun. But the Mishnah clearly says, maybe you did the avairahs just out of fun. Schaik, you're just chilling out. It's still an avairah, but it's a certain level of kavschus. I wasn't trying to do avairahs. I wasn't on a crusade. I'm now going to do avairahs. I'm going to try and go against Hashem and dafka. No, I need some fun. I'm going to have some fun, and I'm not thinking too much about it. So my goal was fun, not the avairahs. Again, it's not a justification, but it's clearly a kavschus. Number 9, a person has drives. A person does an avairah. He's hungry. It's Yom Kippur, I know, but have I got anything against Yom Kippur, against Hashem? No, I'm just hungry. Can't control myself. I don't want to control myself. I'm doing the avairah just because of my drives. The Gemara says in Avodah Daf Chavov, it's a whole sugi. If somebody does an avairah letאבון because he has a drive, it's a mitzvah to save him. You have to respect him. You have to have pity from him. You have to work with him. It's Paskin and Shulchan Aruch, also Yeridei Sim Kufrun Ches, also Cheshin Mishpat Sim and Tov Chav Hei. If somebody is doing an avairah lahachis, dafka to go against Hashem, it's a different story. But how many of our teenagers are doing avairahs to spite Hashem or to spite religion? It might look that way. We're going to discuss that more in a future clip. But they have their drives. There's a story, I think, from the Imre Emes. If not the Imre Emes, it's one of the other Rebbes, who saw somebody eating treifus. He went over to him and says, B'te'avon, have a good appetite. When his Talmidim asked him, his Chasidim asked him, Rebbe, how can you do that? You know he's eating treif. How can you wish him a good appetite? So he said, halavai, that he would be eating the treif just because he's got an appetite, because he's hungry, and not because he wants to spite Hashem. And number 10, again, the Mishnah says, Harbe chaverim roim oisim. Same Mishnah in Sota. This poor woman, she did terrible avairah, but maybe you had bad friends. Rashi says that friends have a tendency to pull their friends away. It could be that she had a bad neighbor, she had a bad friend, a bad acquaintance, who sort of pushed her into doing this avairah. It's not an excuse, but at least it's a donach kavschus. Is it completely her fault? Was she not under the influence of some friend who like pulled her into this whirl of fun that caused her to do this avairah? The Chofetz Chaim in Chomes Hados in Maimer Gimel writes, Bzmanenu, afילו החוטאים גמורים, מצוי ברובם שאינם להכעיס, רק תועים בדרך על ידי איזה פוישים שמתים עושה מן הדרך. They've strayed because somebody, often a person in themselves a confused person. Sometimes they're really bad people, but they are under the influence. This poor fellow is under the influence of somebody else that's on a crusade to pull his friend down. And the Chofetz Chaim says, "Mitzvah rabba l'rachim aleim u'lehoiroisam b'derech hanochina." You have to show them the right way and have pity on them, like it says in the pasuk, "V'yidat olem es haderech asher yelchu bo." Nowadays, how many of our teenagers are really just waking up one morning and becoming bad people? They're all under the influence of either chemicals or a need for fun, which is something we have to discuss, why they have such a need for fun, or just they have drives that are not being met because of their age or stage of their maturing, or just some bad friends. Nowadays, it could be technology would be considered a bad friend. And these are all not excuses, but clearly an easy way for us to judge them more favorably. And like we mentioned in our first clip in this series, if we understand what's making them do an avairah, we can help them get out of it. Instead of hacking them about Chil Shabbos, if we know they were drunk, then what we have to focus on is why are they getting intoxicated and how we can help them not get intoxicated, and then they won't be doing the avairahs. If they have their drives, let's understand them and give them the tools they need to meet their needs in other ways, or to be able to be in control of their needs. If they have bad friends, maybe we can find them good friends. Maybe we can help work on the friends at the same time and change the situation, helping them make better choices.